Welcome back to Hot Pack Flavors of Ramadan powered by Sadia. My name is Gaurav. नाम तो सुना होगा. देखिए अभी हमें आशा जी ने बहुत ही बढ़िया 3 रेसिपीज दिखाई आलू की. उसके बाद हमने देखा मसाला भात. ग्रेट ऑप्शन अगर आपको इफ्तार में या सुहूर में से यूज करना है. इनफैक्ट मेरे को यही बात आपसे करनी भी थी कि रमजान के इस महीने में होता क्या है कि इफ्तार इज टेकन केयर ऑफ, suhoor is taken care of. The most neglected part of our Ramadan days is the first meal of the day. जो हम सहरी करते हैं ये सबसे neglected meal होता है. And if you ask me, this is one of the most important meals of the day क्योंकि अगर आपने breakfast सही कर लिया, अपनी शुरुआत सही कर ली तो आपका पूरा जो डे की फास्टिंग है ये बहुत easy and comfortable हो जाएगी. And इसीलिए हमारी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट और हिप्नोथेरेपिस्ट किमी सोकी हमारे लिए बना रही है एक सुपर हेल्दी, सुपर न्यूट्रिशियस ब्रेकफास्ट मील.
Stress is a major factor when it comes to weight gain in this day and age. You could be working out, eating all the right things, and still gaining weight and not understand what's happening. I'll share some healthy recipes for what usually are some unhealthy recipes and sub them out. My name is Kimi Soki. I'm a nutritionist, hypnotherapist, and life coach, and I firmly believe that a good life is created with a series of good choices. And I'm here to simplify your health one bite at a time. So today's menu is a kale and mushroom burrito along with kale chips and a sour cream dip. So let's get started with the kale chips first. So grab a large bowl and take a bunch of kale and make sure that the stems are removed. And the reason for that is because the stems can be a little bit bitter, so you don't want to be eating that. So I've already pre-removed the stems for these, so just put this in a bowl. And I love using kale because kale is a superfood, and the definition of a superfood is something that's really low in calories but very high in the nutritive value. We're gonna put maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil in this, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black ground pepper, and you can add a little bit of cayenne to taste depending on how spicy you like it. And then all you need to do is just mix up the kale and make sure that it's completely covered in olive oil. And this looks like it's done. And now we're gonna put it in the oven. All right, so we've got our tray ready. Here we go. Just a teeny tiny amount of oil in here. I'm just gonna spread it around a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do is just line up the kale on the tray here. So now that we're done, so now I'm just gonna put these kale chips in the oven. I will be setting the timer for 15 minutes because I'll check on them at 15. They burn really easily, but usually they take somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes to bake, yeah? So let's put these in. So to make the burritos, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whisk the eggs, set those aside, have them ready to go. And then after that, we'll get started on sauteing the onions and the kales and the mushroom. But let's do the eggs first, yeah? So I'm just gonna whisk these. Again, you can add some salt, some pepper, and some cayenne, just to add a bit more flavor and a little bit of punch to your eggs. Perfect. So you can set that aside. Add a couple of tablespoons, maybe 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. So what I'm gonna do here is grab some onion. So you want about 1 small onion just chopped up really fine. So I'm gonna add that in here. So what you wanna do is just saute the onions a little bit until they're a little translucent and golden brown. So I'm gonna add approximately 2 cups of sliced mushrooms. And then just let these cook. Perfect. perfect. So now, let's add our kale. The kale's gonna cook down really quickly. It only takes maybe about a minute or two. So this is cooking along really nicely. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is, we have our eggs right there. So if you remember, we whisked the eggs at the beginning. I'm gonna add a little bit of oregano to our eggs as well, because that's gonna make it really aromatic and make the scramble smell really, really nice. So let me just mix in the oregano. So, and then I'm also gonna add feta cheese. So I'm just gonna add this in. Just kind of keep moving the eggs around. You wanna make sure that they don't stick to the pan, and just lightly keep pushing them around the pan, and that'll make sure that they're gonna be really light and fluffy. So you'll get some really nice fluffy scrambled eggs. So while these eggs cook, I'm just gonna check on the kale chips because I think they should be ready by now. Right. So the chips are ready. I'm just gonna put them on the side and let them cool down. All right, so these eggs are almost ready, and while they just cook a little bit longer, I'm gonna get our tortilla ready so that we can roll the burritos in it. So what we've done is we've gone out and gotten some gluten-free tortillas. You can also use whole wheat tortillas instead of gluten-free. They're also healthy. So all you need to do is, when the eggs are ready, and these look pretty good to go, to be honest, all we need to do is just scoop a little bit of the egg onto the burrito. All right, so these burritos are done. All right, so we've also let the sour cream chill in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes. And I'm just gonna, it's nice and chilled now. So let's just grab our burritos here. So there you go. That's a delicious, healthy, wholesome breakfast for suhoor. Whenever you feel like having something that's a little bit more tangy and spicy, this is the breakfast for you. You've got your spicy kale chips, your sour cream, and your delicious mushroom and kale burritos. Enjoy.
It's a Cake Company production.